Today we're going to talk about roses. With this onslaught of nice summer heat we've had, all of our roses are now exploding with new buds, which translates to new flowers. Roses love our valley heat. That's why they do so well in the Rogue Valley. If you didn't know, roses are the most purchased plant in America. They're the most popular, and they go back to our great-great-grandparents and even their grandparents as well. So I've always found it extremely important when you're buying a rose, buy a good quality rose. They come in grades, number 1, 1.5, and 2s. And at the price of roses, don't try to save money on a plant that's going to last 50 or 60 years. Don't buy the cheapest rose out there. We only buy here at Chet's, we only have number 1 roses. This is a good example, healthy, at least 3 to 5 strong canes, and they will be have more resistance to diseases and insects. I'm going to show you an example of what we call a number 2 rose. I did have to go to my competitor and pick this up, but you see the difference. And I can't back up the care on this, but this was a number 2 rose. Another name for that is future compost. So there's that. Your roses become available in your garden centers as early as January, and your independent garden centers like Chet's, we only deal with bare root roses, true bare roots. When you're buying a bare root plant, you're really buying the root system, and you want that as healthy as possible. It really is the heart of the plant. And I do recommend that you stay away from the pre-packaged roses. The roots have been cut so severely, you may be destined for failure. So why run the risk? Buy a good quality bare root plant. If there's any downsides at all to roses here in the valley, we are known for our wet, cold springs. That will bring on the onslaught of a disease we all know called black spot. But again, I had to go to a competitor to get this because, of course, I don't have any here at Chet's. But these black lesions that you see on the leaf, it's very common here in the valley. Roses are very susceptible to black spot and a fungus called powdery mildew. And it's fairly easy to cure, but if those of you that overhead water late in the afternoon, that's a no-no. You'll want to ground soak your roses when needed in the morning or midday, but ground soak only. Stay away from the overhead irrigation. It creates a problem. Black spot will not go away on its own. It needs to be treated. And left untreated, the spores will be splashed onto the new foliage and it'll get worse and worse. And you'll never get ahead of it. It needs to be treated. And there are a few products that we recommend for treatment. And copper fungicide, you'll probably all know is a dormant spray for your fruit trees. This is not only a preventative for black spot, but it's also a cure. It works very, very, very well, and nothing in there that is harmful. We also have another great product. It's organic by Bonide called Fungin Oil. This also is just different oils. It's an excellent fungicide and not toxic to anybody but black spot and some of the other diseases that you get. So this works out really well. Another problem we have this time of the year and maybe earlier in spring are aphids. And aphids love the new growth and the new buds on roses. And this is a product that's a systemic, which means it's absorbed by the root system, taken out to the leaves, and lasts for about 3 months. This particular Bonide product also has a fertilizer in it. So you're not only fertilizing, but you're treating all insects at the same time. So between this and the Fungin Oil and the copper, you've covered all the bases. For those of you that only have 1 rose, there's another product called Orthonex. This will do 2 to 3 roses. It's a spray, and it will do insects and diseases. So it's kind of a cure-all in a can. We like that. I don't want those of you that aren't huge gardeners to feel intimidated by roses. We've talked about diseases and things so far, but one thing you should know is there's a lot of new introductions out, and a lot of the new introductions are black spot resistant, which is really, really a nice thing, and it'll make your life much easier. So I'd like to start with the one over here on the end, which is called the Red Knockout Rose. This is a new series as of a few years ago. Beautiful red blossoms. They also come in pink. You can see it's absolutely clean of black spot. You won't find a spot on it. Great shrub rose. It also comes in a tree rose that we also carry here at Chet's. Great, great new introduction. There's also a form of rose called the climbing rose, which which you would need a trellis or a fence to grow it on. This is one of my absolute favorites. I actually have this in my own yard. This is the Climbing Sally Holmes. Now right now it's a quite young plant, but these clusters that you see on the end here can get the size of a basketball come later on in the season. I mean, literally they're this big. And what I like about this is the buds will come out kind of a pink, they go to yellow, and then they open to white. A really nice transition, and again, absolutely free of black spot. We really like this one. We keep it pruned, and we've grown it as a shrub rose at my house. Another great new introduction from Monrovia as of the last few years are floral carpet roses. They actually make a ground cover, and when they're in full bloom, it's absolutely gorgeous and a drought-tolerant, disease-free ground cover. They come in 5 colors, and it's a great plant. And they also now have them in a tree form, which is behind me here. And because it's a ground cover rose, you can see it's got a slight weeping habit, which is really attractive. We like that a lot. And again, great disease resistance. One thing we have done here at Chet's over the years has increased our inventory. We now carry up to 163 varieties. Can you imagine? 163 different roses in all forms. And if you need a rose, we've got it. We are proud to say that we have become the #1 garden center for roses for the rosarians in Jackson and Josephine County, including the city of Grants Pass. We're very proud of that. Again, if you want quality at a great price, you got to come down to Chet's, because again, we've got the rose for you.